this aisle, and we've got State Representative Anna Eskamani, who's a Democrat, and voted no on the recent legislation against Disney, and State Representative Mike Beltran, who is a Republican, and voted yes. You'll forgive me for that. This issue's got me completely choked up. Representative Eskamani, I am going to start with you because you're from Orlando. This is your district. Disney literally is in your district. How does this play out? Are you working behind the scenes to try to moderate this at all?
Well, thanks so much for having me, and it's good to see Representative Beltran as well. So it has been a circus. The Disney-DeSantis feud has taken up so much time and airtime where we need to solve real problems that our constituents face. Meanwhile, we have cast members and employees at Reedy Creek that are feeling the uncertainty. They don't know what to expect out of this back and forth. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think it's appropriate for government to be weaponized to silence freedom of speech, which is what is happening with Walt Disney World as the latest victim, if you will, of speaking out against the governor and now being targeted because of it.
Yeah, you do wonder, Representative Beltran. Listen, I know what side you're on, but at the same time, let's say there's a family in, I don't know, Chicago, and they're talking about going to Disney. Well, they got two options. They got Disney World, and they've got Disneyland. And you do wonder if this is just going to make that family be like, you know what, let's just escape all this nonsense and go to take our money to California instead.
Well, look, Disney's a successful business. They're there in Central Florida. They make a lot of money. They've built a lot of attractions. I think people are going to continue to come to Central Florida to see Disney. I agree with Rep. Eskamani that government should not be weaponized against people. And to the extent that people are making remarks that make people feel like that's what's happening here, I think people need to measure their rhetoric and make sure that we're doing things that are going to be good for the people of Florida and not settling some personal score. By the same token, however, I don't think that government should be picking winners and losers. We created a special district a long time ago. We gave special privileges to Disney. We gave special privileges to Disney as recently as 2 years ago when we exempted them from our deplatforming bill. And then we've pared back those things, those special privileges that were given to Disney that we shouldn't have given to Disney.
Yeah, and you do wonder, Representative Eskamani, and to be clear, I work for NBC Universal. You might have heard of Universal. It is a competing theme park also in that. Better rides, by the way, much better rides. That said, does Disney's special privileges, which was granted years ago when Orlando was basically a swamp, is it still valid? Is it past its due date?
Thank you for the question. I'm kind of a rare bird. You know, I represent the Central Florida area, but I've never taken a penny from Walt Disney World, from Universal Studios, or any of our major theme parks.
In fact, I saw your campaign video. You are against what you call greedy corporations. I would say like $1,000 a day to ride rides and eat giant turkey legs. You know.
Well, I'm also a vegan now, so I can't even do that. But I will say that my dad used to work at Disney as a cast member. Almost every Orlando family has a Disney story. And I think it's important that every company is treated the same, which is why I've never taken a penny from these corporations. I don't think they should buy influence in the process. But I'll add that Universal Studios has two special districts here in Central Florida area that are dependent districts. And of course, they have different ordinances at a local level to help them speed up permitting. So if we're going to treat every company the same, let's do that. Let's pass policies like combined reporting, which will close corporate tax loopholes. We have the solutions for that. I would argue that this isn't it, that this really is government being weaponized to target one specific company who expressed an opinion that the governor didn't like.
Is there some way, Mike, or Representative Beltran, that we can get Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, and Ron DeSantis, like just in a room? Like we're having a debt ceiling debate tomorrow with President Biden and some of the Republicans. Can we just do the same with maybe it's at a neutral site. It could be at Universal in the Harry Potter world, because this does feel like it's science fiction.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see this whole feud ended. I don't think it's a good look for Disney. I don't think it's a good look for Florida. I think we need to. I thought we had a deal in February, because in February we passed a bill and it was going to have new parameters for Reedy Creek, and nobody made any kind of noise. I thought we had that deal. The reason Disney wasn't making any kind of noise at that point was because they had this plan that folks in Tallahassee didn't know about, and they had this thing up their sleeve, and now they've kind of created this new impediment. And I don't think that's right either. I don't think we should be weaponizing government, but I don't think that Disney should be getting special privileges, and they certainly shouldn't have made a deal with a board that was at the time captive by then in order to try to bind government for decades and decades. That's not the right thing either for Disney to be doing. So I'd like to see everyone sit down and kind of try to resolve this and move on, because I think it's gone on for quite some time.
Yeah.
And